Families face anxiety and angst as loved ones are deployed to fight Iran. That's the headline from the New York Times, reported by Bernard Mokum and Georgia G. As the war with Iran continues, the stress is resurfacing old anxieties for military families across the country. A 4-year-old child began having behavioral problems when his father left for war. A wife whose husband works in Army intelligence is already dealing with heightened anxiety, even though he hasn't been deployed yet. And a woman finds herself struggling to cope with news of conflicts at home and abroad, nearly 20 years after she lost her fiancé in combat. These stories are backed by hard numbers. A March poll of an estimated 200 families by Blue Star Families, one of the largest nonprofits supporting active military and veterans, found that more than 80% of military families report elevated stress from the war with Iran. The stress is driven by safety concerns, deployment changes, and the fear of escalation. As the war persists, mental health counselors say they are seeing a surge in military families reporting stress and anxiety. The conflict has taken the lives of at least 18 service members and wounded more than 400. Hannah Sims, founder of Rise Alone Therapy, a teletherapy provider for military families, says they have tripled their caseload. She notes, everybody is kind of on edge. Sims adds that there was an understanding this would be a short-term deal, pointing to President Trump's declarations in early March that the war could last 4 to 5 weeks. 5 months later, the war has flared again after a ceasefire ended and 2 weeks of bombing followed. The Strait of Hormuz has again been closed, sending gasoline prices over $4 a gallon. Diplomatic efforts are at a standstill, and the latest round of U.S. attacks does not seem to have deterred Iran. A Pentagon spokesman declined to provide details about how the military helps families cope with the stresses of war. But military officials say there are a variety of counseling and support services available, including a 24/7 service called Military OneSource that provides free and confidential support. In interviews, military families say the war has triggered grief once thought to be healed. Some cope with feelings of guilt, a common emotion among military families, counselors say. Others lament the lack of transparency and communication that leaves them not knowing when their spouse, child, brother, or sister will come home. Elisha Puente, a mother of 4, whose husband deployed in February as part of Operation Epic Fury, says, "I don't know where he is." Her husband serves in an artillery unit in the Marine Corps. He calls home about every 3 weeks, but he does not have access to his personal device and must use a satellite phone on base to make those calls. These are the realities facing military families today: uncertainty, fear, and a mental health system stretched thin. As the conflict drags on, the toll on the home front continues to grow. That's our report for today. Thank you for listening.